Hey, back once again, but pretty sure the final one for right now, because it's going to take me a while to upload what I've already recorded tonight, and quite a few segments. So hopefully, if you're enjoying the stories, you're following along and you're keeping up with what's going on. If not, where I left off last time is I'd just been robbed at gunpoint, armed robbery. It had taken the cops a while to get there. Come to find out, the reason why is because my cashier that I was working with forgot 911. She forgot the number for an emergency to call and had to look up the number, call the police department, who then had to transfer her to the dispatcher to get police on the way. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to take a minute. I'd said over the last few years I dropped like better than 100 pounds. Now, I don't know how well this may turn up for you. Hopefully you can see it pretty decent. This is me. This is my lovely wife of 16, almost 17 years. I love her to death. But this is me. As you can see, there is a bit of a difference. Cheeks are a little chubby here, a little more narrow here. So this is what I used to look like. This is what I look like now. Before, after. Yeah, I'll stop. I know, not so funny. I thought it was kind of cute. Anyway, so I have lost some weight. But as you can see, the hairstyle, kind of the same. Only in this picture, this thing wasn't there. So this actually grown out in like the last 6 years, which sucks. And my hat was bothering me because it was sitting on it. That's why I kept playing with it in one of the videos. And finally I just said screw it and took it off. Anyway, so that's what I used to look like. I just wanted to give you a shot to show you I wasn't joking. I really did actually lose some weight. Of course, going along with that, I've lost a little bit of hair as well. So I'm going to blame it on wearing a hat all the time, because when I was younger, I used to wear a hat constantly. You wouldn't catch me out the door without wearing a hat, and half the time you wouldn't catch me inside without wearing a hat. So I used to wear a hat constantly. So I'll blame it on wearing the hat all the time for this. Anyway, love you, dear. I'll put the picture back when I'm done, I promise. If she comes home and finds that just laying there, she's going to shoot me. Anyway, so cops finally show up. I'm frustrated. I'm rattled. The adrenaline's going because I just got robbed at gunpoint. Although not as bad as it may affect some people, because yeah, some of my friends during that time frame, we usually did not get too rattled by strange occurrences. So I was more the adrenaline, because this guy was going to get hurt. The first screw up he did, where I had a chance to get that gun pointed away from me and hurt him, I was going to hurt him. And unfortunately for me, very fortunately for him, I guess, that didn't happen. Anyway, so the cops show up. Start questioning us. What happened? Blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. This is how it went. This is the guy, and he went out this way. He touched this. He stepped here. Second wave shows up. What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Third wave shows up. What happened? Now, at this point, I'm starting to get frustrated with the police officers again, because it's like, Jesus, how many times do I have to tell this story? And, you know, of course, they're doing the same thing to her. I realized why later. At that point, it's just like, guys, come on. I'm upset. I just had a gun shoved in my face. Just had this punk kid who robbed me, freaked out. He was probably crapping his pants doing this. At least that's the way it looked with the shaking gun and stuff. Fourth one, the detective shows up. What happened? Now at this point, I kind of lost it. Look, I've already told the story 3 times. You want me to tell it? Fine. But if there is Anybody else that needs to hear this story, they better get here, and I'll tell it to all of you at the same time, because I'm not telling it again. Okay, no, that's fine. I'm the last person. Just tell me what happened. Blah, 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 this thing, and okay. Now, I told him hair color, eye color, what kind of gun he was carrying. Because even then, especially with hanging out with friends like mine, I was very observant. So they're like, well, how do you know what hair color he had? Well, because he had blonde hair sticking out around the eye hole of his mask. So I saw blonde hair. So I'm assuming, unless he dyed the tips or something, that his hair was blonde. And he had blue eyes. Okay, awesome. Make sure when you write your statement out, oh wait, you mean I've told the story 4 times, now I got to write it down. Fine. Make sure you say color, hair, and eyes, and how you notice. And he was carrying like a silver 32. I said, may have been a 28, but I didn't look that small. Well, how do you know it was a 32? Because my brother-in-law has a 32, and I've fired it. Only his is actually gunmetal gray, and this one was a silver one. Oh. Make sure in your statement you write down exactly how you knew what kind of gun it was. You know, and a lot of people say when they have a gun pointed at them, oftentimes they don't know details, because when they look at the gun, the barrel looks this big, and that's what they're staring at, is that hole. With me, I was staring at a potential victim. You know, I was the victim in this particular case, but I was looking at one that could be a victim very quickly if he screwed up one thing. So I noticed, it's like, okay, if he turns that gun just a little bit this way, I know what a 32 can do, and I know they're not real accurate farther than... Anyway, so, okay, tell my story 4 times. Now, the reason I was telling the story 4 times is because the first thing the police look at is the people involved. When something happens within a family, the first people the police look at are other members of the family, because most of the crime occurs by friends, family, and acquaintance. The stranger ones, and I don't know, the younger people here may not have dealt a lot with stranger danger, but our generation growing up, stranger danger, you gotta watch out for strangers, you gotta be careful of strangers. The strangers are the ones that are gonna kidnap you, strangers are the ones that are gonna rape you and kill you. No. Over 80% of violence occurs by a friend, family, or acquaintance. Anyway, the reason they were questioning us and kept questioning us like that was because they wanted to make sure that we were telling the same story, and we were telling the same story repeatedly. If we started screwing up the details as they were asking the questions, there would have been a good chance we were lying about it. Hence, may have been involved in the robbery, or may have committed the robbery and then called them to blame somebody else. So they were checking to make sure that we weren't involved with the robbery personally. And I understand that now, and now with a degree in criminal justice and a degree in public affairs with criminal justice concentration, I understand that. At that point, it's like, God, man, quit asking. I just, I want to sit down for 5 minutes and just take a deep breath, because, I just had some guy stick a gun in my face. So, anyway, they go through all the questioning, they dust for the prints, they do all their stuff, they take a dog out back, can't find the guy. Bad news is the guy got away. They didn't catch him. More bad news, we were in a small town, but our station was outside the edge of town. So it was somewhat isolated. The only thing around us was an animal shelter that closed at like 6. And it was Christmas Eve, so everything was closed. That thing got hit something like 5 times over the next year. So, bad station to be at that point. It's gotten better. There is more stuff around there now. But, anyhow, this kid got away. The best part, the ending of it all, they closed the store down for the night, took me home. They're like, after this trauma, go home, take the next day off. We don't want to see you at work. Come back in on this day. All right. They counted down the drawer, find out how much was taken. I come in the next day, then I'm scheduled to work. Work for a few days, they put me in the office. I need something out of the filing cabinet. Open it up, happen to notice a paper in my file that wasn't there before. Not that I'm in a habit of reading through my file, but I was like, what's that pink thing? I had gotten a write-up. When they counted down the drawer, that kid had gotten away with over $1,000 in cash. Now, here's the fun part about it. When I was pulling money out of the drawer, I was only taking like a few top bills to put in there. I didn't realize exactly how much was in there. When they counted down that drawer, there was over $2,000 in cash still in the register. There was something like $1,100 and something or $1,200 and something dollars missing. I had actually saved over $2,000 in cash from being stolen. I got a write-up because they got away with too much money. Which, hey, okay, that was a lot of money, even when I'm only skimming off the top of it. But I got wrote up for it because I'm the one that got robbed. Not the cashier who was running the register, and when she got a break in customers, didn't drop her money. She's not the one that got wrote up. I was, because I was the one that was lucky enough to have a gun stuck in my face. So, next time I saw the manager, I told him exactly what I thought of that. And he informed me that that was the reason why I never saw it until I happened to stumble across it that day when I'm doing the work, doing the office work. Is because he was never going to tell me. And when the district manager had done the write-up and put it in my name, he protested and told him there's no way I should be wrote up for that. And the district manager said, well, sorry, but somebody's getting wrote up. And since he was the one that got robbed, he was the one that had the armed robber got, he's the one that's got to get wrote up because he's the one that allowed the money out the door. I understand the cashier didn't drop her money like she should have, but she's not the one that got robbed and gave him the money. So the manager told me, I protested. I told him that was wrong and that sucked and I wasn't going to do it. But had to give a write-up. So I wasn't going to tell you. And if you would have never saw it, I would have never said a word about it. Because I didn't agree with it either. So, the happy ending, I got a write-up because I came in to do groceries to let somebody else have time with their family, and I got robbed. And then the cherry on the cake is I get a write-up for being robbed. Wasn't too long after that I decided a change in jobs was probably a good idea. When that district manager was no longer with the company, I went back and was rehired. So that was one of the second times I'd worked for this particular company as part of the, 5 places I've worked at. So that was an awesome experience. I hope you enjoyed the story. Swear to God, the whole thing was true. But I'll talk to you in my next video whenever I record it.